Oh my goodness, babes. I am here with an Instagram friend, or was it Threads? I don't remember.
I think it was Instagram.
It was Instagram. Okay, so you guys, you have to meet Holly, and she's the creator of Double Book, which she's going to tell you all about because I don't know about it. I'm just like, ooh, cool. Let's come on the podcast. So, Holly, introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm so happy to be here. My name is Holly. I'm a hairstylist of 12 years. I'm from Orange County, California.
Oh,
And yeah, and yes, the way we connected is over Double Book. It is a platform that I am building, very soon launching for that connects hairstylists with salon assistants for day-to-day jobs. So think like Uber, but for hiring a salon assistant. Just the days you need them, not the days you don't. Licensed salon
girl.
assistant, of course. Yes.
That is so cool. Okay, how did this come about?
Yeah. Because like I said, I'm a hairstylist. And at the time that I decided to go ahead and make Double Book, I actually was working with an assistant because I had opened my own salon suite, and I had the space and time to hire an assistant. But same problem. I didn't necessarily need her to work every day and all that kind of stuff. And I would kept telling her like there needs to be like a thing where you can hire an assistant when you need them, or assistants can work whenever they're available, right? And I'm like, someone's gonna make it. And one day I'm like, no one's making this. And so I'm like, you know what, it's
It's
gonna be
you.
me. Because I would tell my friends, like, you guys, don't you wish like we had this? And they're like, yeah, duh, of course. And I'm like, let's like, I need to make it then. Why not? Why not?
That
Why
is so cool. Oh my
not?
God. Okay, so there's the idea. So then how did you go from being a independent stylist in your own suite, right, to now a techie, right? Like a
Yeah.
like a like a like I'm guessing this is like an app.
Yeah, yes. Yes, yeah. It's a whole tech platform, right? Yeah. Yeah. I think what first of all led to me just being like, all right, I'm gonna do it, is being a hairstylist in general. Like when I went to school and started doing hair, I didn't know how to do hair, right? And I just started doing it. And then eventually I had my own chair. I didn't know how to run a chair, but I just did it. Went to a salon suite. I'm like, let's figure it out because we've just done it to this point. So I think all of that led to me being like, well, there's a way to do it. People do it all the time. So I could probably do so right. I had no like tech connections. I was like, I'm gonna find people. We have the internet. You can find people, anywhere nowadays. So for me, it was just more about like sourcing people to make this a thing, talking to a lot of people, asking like, this is what I want. Is this something that you can make, or can you direct me to somebody who can help me? Um, which was an adventure, but
I bet.
yeah, I just went for it.
I bet. I bet. And I love that about who we are and what we do. Like first of all, we're women and I love that, right? We're the best. But then at the same time, like we're in this industry, like you figure it out. Like if you want to be something, you there's solutions for everything. And I love that. So, okay. So this is an app. Has it launched yet? Is it coming to launch? Like what's going on?
Yeah. So it hasn't launched yet. There was a little bit of launch drama, which is a whole story, and I don't want to but we had planned a launch for November and we actually had to postpone our launch.
Okay.
And we could get into that, whatever.
Yes,
But
girl.
basically,
I mean, you said drama. Not that I love drama.
yeah,
I hate drama, but I also thrive on
no,
drama.
I love
So
a good story.
let's go.
Okay,
Spill
so
the
let me
tea.
explain what had happened. So and this is, a lesson in, again, yes, make doing things you've never done before obviously
Yeah.
come with issues, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so
Lessons. Lessons.
lessons, thank you. So yes, we have an amazing team assembled working on Double Book. Um, and one person on this team we outsourced to as a developer, and this developer, now mind you, I'm also not like trying to have bad things happen. So I was super intentional. I hired this developer through this company that like vets their developers and gives you, make sure this person is so good, whatever, right? So I did my due diligence.
Right.
And we hired this developer and we were working with him for a while. And he's actually the one who told us when we could launch, when it would be ready. So we set our date, we get our launch ready, and 24 hours before, oh, mind you, we've like been testing this platform that we've built, right? Our internal team has been testing it. Looks good. There's some things that are like buggy, but he's like, oh yeah, I'm just, working them out. Great, super. So the day before the launch, we get an email from him that says, you cannot, if you launch this and more than like 10 people are on it, it's not stable enough. And I'm like, what do you mean? We have like hundreds of people on this wait list. And then he just like ghosts us and doesn't, yes, and doesn't like respond to us. And I had to announce to all of our people on our wait list, hairstylists who have been like chatting with me, like, I cannot wait. I've got my calendars marked, right? And I'm like, the disappointment train here, the worst possible scenario, and had to say, hey, something is up and we have to postpone it. So, yeah,
Oh God.
yeah,
And then it's the
we,
holidays too. So like everybody's
girl,
like ready, you know?
that's, oh my God. Yes. Yes, yes, this situation will live with me forever. But anyway, long story short, we have a team working on it. We're getting it finished. It is, but now obviously we don't want to launch it right this moment. It's Christmas time. Like
Yeah.
nobody is.
No.
So we will launch it early in 2026. And it will first be launched in California,
Okay.
just so that we can focus like on one area, get our, feedback, and then it will be wherever stylists need it, want
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm. I love this. And I love how these setbacks are actually like, when you take like a rubber band and you like pull it, it's like, I forget what you call it. I'm having like a brain malfunction today, but you like pull it and it's like a launch pad and you're like, pew, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's true. In the moment when it's happening, you're like, I think, again, being a hairstylist, you're working, it's dynamic, right? You're never just
Mhm.
like, oh, I do this and it's done. You're in it, things are changing. Even hair color is dynamic, right? It's all dynamic. And so there's those times where you're in it and it's not going the way it should or always does.
Mm.
And because you're used to that feeling, you're just like, this is annoying, right? It's not like this is the end of the world. This is it. It's just like, of course, on this day, like it doesn't go perfect today.
Yeah.
So that's more of like the feeling of like, all right, fine. That's the situation, but we're just gonna, pivot. We're gonna make it work. It's just
Yeah.
annoying it didn't work the way I wanted it to right away.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So now how long have you been a stylist?
12 years.
12 years. Okay. So you have definitely seen your fair like I'm sure you've worked through the ranks, right? Like you
Yes.
were your own apprentice and then you had it in a salon and then you like worked your way up and now you're in an independent,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yes.
So when you were an apprentice, what were some of the struggles that you were going through? Because I
Yeah.
remember when I was sweeping the floors in my mom's salon, like I was like, I had to learn. Like I
Yeah.
had like you know what I mean? Like I had to learn to have no bad days. I had to like do my hair and makeup. Like there were so many times that I would show up to work looking like trash. So what were your bad experiences and your learning lessons?
Yeah. I mean, of course, like I just want to say, like everyone in their own position and time do their like have their own. I want to validate their own times, right? So, like, of course, I at the time I was an assistant, and so my boss was the owner of the salon, and we all had our own. You hear assistants being like, "Oh, this place is the worst. My boss is the worst," and then bosses being like, "Assistants don't want to work," or all these things, right? So, yes, everybody has their own experiences. When I was an assistant, of course, I was like, there were times, I will say, when I first started, I was just excited, right? I
Mm,
didn't even care the day could have been like 15 hours and I'm like, I loved it. I was in a salon, right?
Right.
That was in the beginning. And then over time, when you're like learning things and then you're doing really repetitive work, it can feel like this is stupid. This
Yeah.
is stupid. And it's not stupid, but it feels stupid. And you're working for a stylist, they're telling the same jokes all day. You're like, oh my God, I already know that. Like you just start to get into this little like a negative mindset, right?
Yeah.
And so overcoming the mindset like all the time and understanding, because for me, I could always understand like, oh, this is annoying or I'm exhausted or whatever. And I know that I'm learning. I can recognize that I'm witnessing a lot and learning a lot. So I
Mm,
always, understood. I could see it. You know, I could get myself in the right mindset.
right.
I will say, there were things like, especially working in a small salon, I couldn't take time off, right? I wasn't able to take like Saturdays off. There was a lot of things I missed because of having to work. Um, in my salon, we had a lot of education, which was great. It became like overwhelming, like the amount of days that were free education. Like we had to come for education
Mm,
and it wasn't a paid day, and obviously, I mean, we're learning, but it became so mandatory and there just became so much of it that it was like I don't have any days like to rest or maybe like work somewhere else also to make more money.
mm-hmm,
I think
mm-hmm.
everyone gets into hair and in the beginning they have worked for a couple years and they're like, I've never had less money in my life, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That happens to a lot of us. So I do appreciate my assistant journey. I think apprenticing, assisting, like is so foundational. It's so foundational. It allows you to learn how to do hair without the like having to like fake it, like without having
Yeah.
to totally just like worry about you when you graduate, you can't worry about color formulations. Well, because you didn't like really learn them super
Mm-hmm.
well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you can't worry about formulating for a client if you don't know how to do a good blow dry. Like, you can't worry about 100% of the things the whole time. And you build the things and then you have more confidence. You can understand more concepts, right? So I think apprenticing is foundational. Um, and so although it was very difficult, I appreciate that I did it, of course.
Yeah. What was your what was your least favorite task as an assistant? And what was your favorite
Yeah.
task?
Okay, my least favorite task as an assistant was blow drying short hair because because it was so scary. Like not a bob, right? I'm talking like like a pixie, but like maybe for like
Yes.
an older client or something,
Yes.
where the stylist would just be like la di da and like get it up, and me as an assistant, I'm like, and then it doesn't look good. I'm like, how did I can't get it right, and I hated doing it because I wasn't good at it. Anything I wasn't good at, I hated doing. You don't like doing things you're not good at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so yeah, I hated doing that. And something I really liked doing, I mean, I liked applying like root touch-ups. It was so fun. I mean, just
Yeah,
like
it's
it's
just
in your bones that you
yes.
know. And my boss actually would have us like set a timer to make sure that we were like timely with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um and I again I that's something maybe as an assistant you could be like, oh my god, it's so annoying, you're making me set a timer. But yes, like it's setting a timer for your work to not to like race the clock, but to hold yourself accountable. I know I usually can apply this in 15 minutes or whatever. Oh, the timer went off. What am I doing? Right? Get with it. So
Right.
yes, I loved applying color.
Okay, so how are you now with the pixie blow dries?
Oh, it's fine. Well, I think what happens again over time is you become uncomfortable with the unknowing and figuring it out. So, starting as an assistant, I think, in my mind, I'm like, okay, what's the 1, 2, 3, 4? How do I get there? Right? I don't know how to do it. And then over time, you realize it's dynamic, it's just happening. I'm doing something, I'm seeing it happen, and I'm pivoting from there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And oh my god, it's a blow dry, right? I mean, the other hard part when you're assisting like the client, if they don't trust you, like yet they're like they think you're going to fail, right? They're like, they
Yeah.
don't want you to fail. They want you to succeed, but they expect that you're not going to do it right.
Right.
Versus once you're like the stylist behind the chair, like you have a little bit more grace to be like, oh, what am I doing here? Right. Let me rewet that. Let me fix that. And there's
Mhm.
a grace, and the client doesn't like, I don't know, give off that energy. So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
no,
So yeah.
there's no trust there. So you got to
Yeah,
build
there's no
it.
trust. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now with Double Book and these assistants, how I guess walk us through the process for the people watching, for the people listening. How do they get into the system and like how do they grow with Double
Yep.
Book? Because you do have to build trust even if you are an assistant, even if you get zero retail sales, even you got to build that rapport. So, how do you do that with Double Book and then how do they even get into the program?
Correct. So obviously we're a whole new like idea, way of work, right? So
Sure.
there is a learning curve. Now, as of now, the way that people go on the platform is they just, sign up. They're on there either
Mhm.
as an assistant or as a stylist. And actually most of our wait list for assistants are stylists who have already been assisting in, California, but they just want more experience, more work. They want more jobs. So they're not all like directly fresh out of school.
Okay, okay.
Um, and we are essentially like a marketplace, right? Like Uber. So the stylist or the assistants on there, they are in charge of their own schedule, all that kind of stuff, right? And so the way, like, say I'm a stylist, I'm looking to hire an assistant, like sporadically. The
Yeah.
original idea, it sounds like, oh my God, I'm going to go on there. I'm going to look for an assistant when I need them, and I'm just going to get like a stranger. And that's not
Yeah.
necessarily the case. So what happens is
Okay.
you're a stylist, you need an assistant for whatever next Saturday. And if you're brand new to the platform, you would go on there, put in when you need to find someone, and you will be shown like people in your area, assistants
Oh,
in
okay.
your area. And you might even know some of them, right? Because it's like the salon world's not it's
Yeah,
that big.
you always know
You
like your
always
surroundings.
know. Yes. And so on there you'll be able to view those assistants profiled, and they'll have reviews, right, from other stylists, how like whatever. And you can determine who you need, right? If you really just need someone to fold towels and sweep, you know, the assistants on there also set their own hourly rate. I should also say that because again, they're independent. So do you need someone who's like, oh, I can like, you know, do your client's color, all these things? If you might not need that level of assistant, right? If you just need someone to clean up for you or whatever, right? Anyway, you will find them. You can send them the details of the job, and they will accept or decline the job based on if they're available or they don't think it's a good fit, whatever. After time, you're someone who's like working with assistants, you can just always book the same assistant. If you worked with someone, you're like, I love this person, I need them every Saturday, you can just request them every Saturday. And if they're available, they can accept the job every Saturday. So it's not necessarily like you're going to be getting like new people every time. You'll probably build up like your little cohort of assistants that you get
Right.
to choose from.
Right, right,
Uh,
right. And
uh-huh.
then if they want to like join the team or whatever.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
She gave me the
that's a
finger,
that's
guys. She gave me the
yeah. Well, because
finger.
well,
Holly was
yeah,
like,
the
"Hold on."
pointer finger would clarify, please. The pointer finger, because yes, that's a whole other. There's I talk about inspiration for double book. I could just go and go and go. I need like
Go,
one of those
go.
boards, like
I
that
will say
crazy guy.
nothing. I will say nothing.
No, because when a stylist, you hear it all the time, a salon owner finds a stylist out of school. I don't know if you've ever had this problem. Maybe you find a young stylist and you're like, I have this amazing salon, this amazing pathway you can take, and you will be successful. And they're like, cool. So they come and they join, and you train them, and you like, do all this stuff. And then they are like solid, and then they leave you, right? And I don't mean to
Yes.
laugh at that. I'm not laughing. I'm just like, I'm saying that because it's all the time. I just hear it, and it's like, I know, I can't imagine that. And it's because their first salon is like their first date, right? Like if you're like, I'm gonna start dating, and you go on your first one, and they could be the most amazing person, but you just always have this thought, like, what else could be out there, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
but as the person who like again, you're like, no, 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 you don't understand. If you follow this plan, you will make money, all these things, and they don't care, So
They don't.
they
They
don't
don't.
care. And it's because like one, most of the time, not all the time, most of the time coming out of school getting licensed, you're younger, right? You're so you just the world there's like a whole wide world, right? And sometimes people actually like to struggle. It's crazy, but I don't know why, but
Yes,
they like
I
to
love
struggle.
everything you're saying because yep, I'm right there with you, girl. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. And so this way it allows for, salons, right? You to kind of like scope out who you want. And or you could even hire someone sometimes who you're like, oh my God, no, after a while you're like, this person is not the fit. Like, I don't this person is not my kind of person, but like I already hired that. You start to play those. I already hired them.
Yes.
I still believe in them, all these things. So this way, it allows you to sort of test the waters with people. And yeah, when they are ready to say, okay, some new stylists will go from being assistants to like starting to take clients to also having like a chair or like whatever, right? A full schedule.
Hmm.
And this, even in that interim where they're assisting and they're taking clients, they can have where they have their clients and they're assisting sometimes when they're not that busy. This just allows a salon owner to be like finding their right fit. An assistant to when they choose a place, it's for a reason. They chose a place because they've worked there, they love it, and it wasn't because they just went to the first place that would hire them. So I think it's a perfect way to scope out your like like I don't know, scope out your people with less risk to you, less risk to
Yes.
the assistant.
So
um
how did okay. How do they get paid?
yeah,
Do
yeah,
they get paid? Like wow.
yes, 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 it's a must. Now we're building this in California, which
Yeah.
there's like actually, yeah, there's a lot of rules in California. So and that's part of the reason why we're going state by state. This deals with employment and labor laws, and there's just a lot. There's just a lot.
Yeah.
And I a big part of double book is making sure everyone is protected, both sides, new stylists and so like the people hiring them. I want everyone to be protected,
Hmm.
right? And
Hmm.
so we're in California. So the way it has to work in California in order for us to be able to be what we are is the assistants themselves are independent contractors. Essentially, they are their own business in the way that like a stylist behind the chair is their own business. This
Right.
is the assistant becomes basically their stylist behind the chair from the start. um
Okay.
they set their own hourly rate. We are not able to have any like control over that. um, and so say an assist, but they get paid. So for double book, the way you get to use double book is we're subscription based. So you pay a subscription just to use the platform.
Hmm.
For assistants, it's $9.99 a month. For salon professionals, it's $19.99 a month to get to use the platform. And then the professionals will pay their assistant through the platform at the end of the workday. Whatever rate was agreed upon or set in when they connected and agreed to the job,
Yeah.
is what they would be invoiced for at the end of the day through Stripe payments.
Uh,
So if an assistant in California, we don't have obviously data of like what assistants would have on their profiles. We intend to tell them like, oh, hey, people who have, give them an idea. People who have their rates set at this are getting hired, right? Like,
right.
and so if you're not getting hired, maybe because you're ambitious, right? Maybe you're being a little whatever. But
Right.
so just say I think minimum wage in California is like 16.50 or $20 for fast food workers. But anyway, say it's $20 an hour. That's an
Yeah.
easy number.
Yeah.
So yeah, say you agree to like you say, okay, the job's going to be about 6 to 8 hours, and they work, and then at the end it came out to be 8 hours. Yeah, they would be paid through Stripe 160 through the platform,
Right.
and yeah, that's how they get paid each time, each individual job. And if I could speak to that, actually,
Yeah.
I know it's a long-winded answer here,
No,
but
no, but this is great because this is the stuff that, independent stylists, a lot of them, they're in their own business, right? They
right,
left a salon. You know this. You left a
yeah,
salon because you wanted to change the culture. You wanted to set your own culture. But we're not thinking about the business side of, wait a minute, now I have to be responsible for somebody else.
correct, yeah.
So this is good.
Yes, and most of the time people pay their assistants under the table, right?
Yeah.
And And of course, it's like they don't want to hire an employee, and especially if they're just an independent person, they're in a suite or a chair or something. They don't want to hire an employee, pay
Right.
employee taxes, all of that, right? The
Right.
problem is that if you're paying your assistant $20,000 throughout, because that's the other thing. You think, oh, it's 150 bucks here, whatever. Like these are thousands of dollars, and you are not able to write it off on your taxes because because you paid them in cash and you didn't hire them as an employee. So you're just paying 20K and you're not getting you can't even use it as a write off. Are you kidding me? So, yes. And yes, of course, this way the assistants, they're independent. They will have to pay taxes on what they earn. And we always talk about payoffs, right? Like, or like trade-offs. Oh, you're
Hmm.
assisting, you have to deal with that because you're getting, knowledge, whatever. There's always going to be a trade-off. And to me, like paying your taxes is actually better than, you know, some other stuff that people have gone through as
Yeah.
assistants. But I don't want to compare bad things, but I'm just saying. Um, so I mean, it helps you learn also, like, again, if you're coming into this industry, you're gonna want to be, maybe you'll work commission too, which is fine, but at some point you might probably will be independent or handle some form of business. This is also like a normal thing we do, right? We are a lot of times self-employed, all these kinds of things. So yeah, for me, the biggest out of all of it is salon independent stylist paying somebody to do work and not being able to use it as a write-off. So this way the payments go through the platform, they go through Stripe. It is there to show how much you have paid in the year, and you can use it as a write-off for your taxes, which is massive. Massive.
That is, yes, that is beautiful for the stylist who is basically having their own trial run in business,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
But then it's
Yep.
also for the assistant too, because now they are learning and seeing more or less how business works. Oh, I can be an independent contractor and work at all these different places. Oh, cool. And then so now it's opening the doors for more like possibility instead of just commission and rental. You know?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
That's beautiful. And so they get to see it. Oh, girl, yeah. Okay, so with this, what has been the biggest insult that you've gotten and but that you're like so proud of that you got this insult?
Like about like what someone has said about what we're building.
Yeah, it could be that. It could be your personal life. It could just be as a stylist, like anything, like your
Oh,
favorite.
oh, oh, the biggest insult in general as a stylist is everyone's had this. Everyone's had this. When you're working and someone says, and it's always like it's typically like a younger person too, and they're like, "So are you going to school? Are you going to school for anything?" And you're like, "What do you mean?" Like, "Oh yeah, are you going to school for anything?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? You're about to pay me hundreds of dollars to do your hair right now, and you're asking me if I'm going to learn anything new? Like this is the thing." That's it's always insulting when people say that to me. It's so insulting. They don't
Oh,
mean to be. They're
oh
curious.
my God. Okay. So total rabbit trail right now, but I literally just saw this in a Facebook group that this stylist was having this, I guess, consultation or something over Snapchat. Please. And I don't know this person. I don't know their name. I don't know their voice, but hearing you just say this, I can imagine that it was this stylist saying that she goes, and her client was asking her pricing, okay, and said basically this, like, what did you have to go to school for this? Like, you've only been doing hair for like 3 years and you're charging hundreds of dollars to do my balayage. And I went to somebody who was in 10 years doing this and they charged less. Like, that's so crazy to me. Anyway, total rabbit trail, but your response
Oh
was like, oh my God, am I talking to the same person? Is this the person?
yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, guys, it's just like such an because, and it's so bad when someone says it in your chair, and it's always like a new client. Like it's not ever someone who like loves and adores you, but you always want to be like, am I gonna like go off on this person right now? No, I'm not. But also I want to. And now I want to charge them double because
Yes.
there's an
Yes.
annoyance now because you've annoyed me.
Yeah, totally. I love that. I love that. And for my team, like I have I have gotten in, I am not, I should be ashamed, but I am not. I have gotten into it with clients who say that to my team. Like, are you kidding me? Their
Yeah.
education a lot of times is accumulatively more expensive than lawyers and doctors and all of that. Anyway,
Anyway, she's like,
total
I could go.
rabbit trail.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so
Yep.
sorry.
Yep.
Okay. So now what do you feel has been your biggest failure?
Oh, okay.
Life or business? Like there are no
Yeah.
limits, okay?
Yeah. I mean, it's so hard. Failure. It's so like when I'm like, oh, every failure is a new thing. But I would say I feel good about my mindset of being able to take what is like. I think a failure is like when you actually just take what happened and you just stop. You're like, I can't. All right, well, you take it for what it is instead of just like seeing it as like a lesson, right?
Mhm.
I feel like when I'm failing when I start to like um when I stop putting myself out there, right? Or when I
Oh,
stop like going to find new solutions or new things, I feel like I'm in a state of failing because I know better than that, you know? Yeah, I don't think failure feels like a state to me, right? And yeah, so when I'm like things aren't happening or there's like a roadblock, it's always because I've just stopped pivoting or stopped finding the way. So then I feel like I'm in a state of failure. But then I can come out of it. And I
that's
can
good.
recognize like that's what's happening. I'm not doing what I know I need to do. And I mean anytime any as a hairstylist just in general, um, you know, you can't just like see people open their suites, right? And then they might close them because they're like, actually, suite wasn't for me, or whatever it is. They open a salon and it's like, actually, I don't love being a salon owner, or they held off for a long time in opening one because they were afraid, and then they finally open it. And whenever they do that next thing, they're like, God, why did I wait so long? Or but if they viewed their first thing they were doing as a failure, like they would like you would just stop. You would stop. And then what? Like then what do you do, so no, I even say with double book when I started making it, and um obviously a question of from people were like, what if you make it and then like it doesn't work or people don't use it or whatever. Like, what do you mean? I'll just go. I can do hair. I love doing hair. This is, like, what do you mean? Like, I don't know. That's not like a thought on my mind. Or I keep it off of my mind, right?
Mm,
I'm not building double book to be like, oh, look at this awesome thing I made. It's because like it's something that my colleagues can use to, be successful in this industry that they love. And so yeah, I like it's not so serious. It's not a reflection of me necessarily.
that is so cool. She's like, failure, it's not serious, guys. Like, it's
It's
fine.
not. It's
Love
really
that.
not. It's not. It's not. You know what? Let me tell you. The same week that Double Book had to postpone our launch, Kim Kardashian announced that she failed the bar. Okay? You know how she's like going to school to be a lawyer?
Yes, yes.
Failed the
I've been
bar.
invested in this and
Okay.
I didn't hear anything. She
Okay.
had the video
Yeah.
where she's like crying, but then it was like an old video. I don't know. She
Oh yeah,
failed
she
it.
failed the bar.
Okay.
And her TV show came out that like people gave like really bad reviews, like that show, okay?
Yeah.
In the same like within the same couple weeks. And I'm like, this is Kim K. And she's so public. And me, I had to postpone my launch to like, 1,000 people. Kim K had to announce she failed the bar to like everyone in the world. And look at her. She doesn't care. She's probably annoyed, but she's just gonna do it again. And so yeah, I like what it's not serious. We fail and everyone forgets because then eventually over time you succeed. And so yeah, it's not that serious.
Failure's just a mood, guys. We're
It
women.
is.
We're
This is a
women. We
vibe.
have all the moods. Like,
Yeah,
pick one.
yeah, it comes and goes. It comes and goes. It comes and it's
That's
not a
perfect.
reflection of you. It's something you tried and then it didn't work the way you wanted, so now you got to do it a different way.
That's perfect. Okay, what do you tell and what are you telling the newbies who are starting in the hair world?
Hmm. Um, First of all, like me over here, like failure's not that serious, but also that. If you mess up one time, you're not a bad stylist. Like it's not that it's as serious as it is. It's not that serious. It's not a reflection of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of new style there's like, whole thing stylists don't want to work, or young people don't like to work, or they're not
Mm-hmm.
reliable, and this and that. And I just
Mm-hmm.
think like it's just different. The way that
Right.
their world is so different than my
Yeah.
world was. It's bigger. I don't think it's about like they don't want to work. I think they're really afraid to do things, new
Oh.
things that they're not good at, because girl, it's all over TikTok. I know you see this, where these reviews of like, oh, I went and got my hair done. This person ruined my blowout, and it's like because there's like one straight piece right here, and like, look at, I can't believe I paid for this, and it's one straight piece, and you're like, get a life. This is the kind of world that they're coming into. And when I was assisting, I wasn't afraid that someone was going to go blast me and embarrass me on the internet. But this is a very real situation. So failure to them is extra scary, and for, I think, good
Mm.
reason, because again, they're afraid of things like that. So I would say find a way to get over that fear. And obviously they don't new everybody who does something they love is not afraid of hard work. I just think there's like an awareness of like, oh, if this is hard and it's not a healthy environment, like I don't have to be there, right? So ways that, we used to, like, now a stylist coming into the industry, if they worked at the salon I started at, I don't think like they would be like, oh no, never mind. Like if
Yeah.
I was a stylist coming in, I would be like, there are some major things that I'm like, no, I wouldn't want to have to like, or after a while, I'd be like, this is not like a healthy environment for someone, right? So, yeah, I want to say work hard, new stylists, work hard, practice all the time, don't be afraid. Um, and these are things they like, if they're in the right environment, they can do, right?
Mhm.
And they seek out, people say that, oh, they just want to be like rich right away. I totally see that, because online they're told by a lot of people like, oh, first year you can make all this money, and it's like, stop it. Like, stop it. If that happened to you, I am so happy for you, but you have to recognize you're the exception if that happened to you, right? That's not fair, that's not realistic. um but and so they're gonna, when they see that, they're gonna be curious of that route, right? And so I think the reason for making, like, with double book, when as it comes to assistance, was that they can see for themselves, and they won't find themselves stuck, or they still might find themselves in any situation they put themselves in, but this way it was
Yes.
on their, this way it's of their accord. They want a say. I remember being 20, I want a say in what I'm doing. I want to, if I chose to go work at a place, I wanted to feel like I chose that, versus like this happened to me, which is a mindset that can creep in to a lot of young people, all people,
Totally.
but
Totally.
and so the feeling that they're getting to choose what it is they're going to do, um, helps them stay out of like a negative or like bad situation they shouldn't be in. So,
Mhm.
yeah, seek out the opportunities you want, but like you have to earn them. Being an assistant on Double Book, again, in California, it's all on you. You get to set your own rate, all these things. If you're an assistant and you haven't had much work and you or experience, and you haven't taken, or like learned or been able to show your skills or whatever, you can't be on there like telling someone to pay you $25 an hour. That's insane, right? And so it sort of helps create or like, I should say, the mindset of like, these are the things I need to do to be valuable in that sense, or this is what I'll do. Like, I just started today. This person saying they need me to fold tiles and sweep the floor. And that's actually a good choice for me, because I don't have experience. I want to stand in a salon on Saturday and listen to the chat. Like, I just
Yeah.
want to be there. So it sort of also shows them like what they need to do to even get those opportunities in the first place.
I love it. Yeah. So like is double book specifically for, let's say, like cosmetology students, or is this for anybody who just wants to be an assistant in a
Okay.
salon?
So this is yeah. So this is I'm gonna light up again because this is for anybody with a license,
Okay.
cosmetology license, a barbering license is also you have to be licensed. To sign up, you will have your license verified. So you have to be a licensed individual.
Okay, good.
Again, state to state, I believe there's like different laws for working in a salon. On Double Book, you have to have a license. Cosmetologist, barber, and then in California we have a separate license called a hairstylist license.
Mhm.
It's new, and
It's new. It's
it's
new,
new.
guys.
It is new, but it's basically you do less hours in school and you aren't licensed to do chemical services. So this type of person can cut hair, wash hair, like their license allows them to do hair cutting, but they can't do like color because they did less hours in school. It's like a separate license. It's a new one. Yeah. So this type of
Interesting.
and on the platform, their license, they'll be shown like what their license is. So if someone is
Okay.
like has a hairstylist license and you need someone who's going to help you with color, because technically they're not even allowed to mix color. Like legally, they can't mix color if they're not licensed as a cosmetologist. Anyway, if that's what you need someone for, then you would know, like, oh, person is licensed to do this. Um,
Can the
and
stylists leave reviews
Yep, it's back and
on?
forth. So, yeah, so when a stylist works with that assistant, they can leave a review of like after they literally leave a review. And vice versa, when the assistant works with someone, they can also leave a review, right? Because me as an assistant, I want if you tell me this salon like and it has to be, I mean, it can't be defamatory reviews, right? If it's just
Right.
like gnarly, like that's like obviously not allowed. But say you're like, this salon, I think really valuable information. This salon is so busy. It was such a crazy day, but I got tipped well. That way, I'm seeing that salon. They want me to work with them. I can decide, okay, this day I'm not really, or like, I'm not really feeling it. So I don't want to work at a busy place. Or I'm looking to like hustle. Let me get there. You know, those super
Yeah.
helpful reviews, but both
Love that.
ways. Stylist reviews the assistant can review the stylist. Um,
Love that.
so
Yeah.
yeah, so anyone with a license can be on here. So there's actually stylists, women who have even like, uh messaged me and said like they have done hair. They stopped doing hair because either it was like too hard to like get into the world of cosmetology, or maybe they like had a baby and they like stopped for a while and they
Mm.
want to get back into it. And so they're going to go on there as an assistant to get back into it. And I literally get chills when I say that because of the amount of people who we all know people who went to beauty school and
Hmm.
didn't end up doing hair because of all the hard things that it's hard to get in the industry in of
Yeah.
itself, but just life and the responsibilities that are just put on women in
Hmm.
general. And we are a female dominated industry, which is why I say women,
Yes.
but on
Yes.
everyone, but women. And this is a chance for them to like get back into it without
Hmm.
having to feel like where do they even start? You just start by going and sweeping the floor for someone, like
Yeah.
and just being in their space and they're like stoked about it.
Yeah. It's true. It is so true. I'm thinking about my own team. I'm thinking about so many people, some of my own coaching clients. Like I'm thinking about, yeah, that is exactly how it happens. Okay, so how do people get on the wait list, right? Because it hasn't launched yet.
Yep.
We're waiting because you guys are perfecting.
Yes. Yes.
So, how
Yes.
do people get on the list? How do they get involved? How do they get in touch?
Yes. They go to waitlist.doublebook.co. They can
Mm.
find us on our Instagram, which is doublebook.co. But the specific waitlist is waitlist.doublebook.co. And like I said, we're launching in California, but anyone from anywhere can sign up for our waitlist. We
Okay.
have the cutest emails, by the way, which is like such a like thing, but my the person who does our emails, like they're just so incredible. Anyway, so even if you just want some adorable
Just sign
emails,
up for the cute
I'm not
email.
kidding you. They're so cute. And when you see it, you'll see what I mean. But wherever you are, it's helpful because we can see where people are signing up. And
Yes,
that
do
lets
it.
us know, like, okay, that's where we need to be as well. So
Hmm.
even if you're someone who doesn't even do hair, you're just in the industry or you're just curious, yeah, sign up because that's where we get most of our information. And when you get our emails, when you respond to them, you're responding to me. So if you have
That's cool.
questions or anything, like that's how you reach me. and I never have emailed in my life. And now that I'm on double book, I'm like chatting, like who email? I don't know. And
It's cool.
so yeah, I will respond to your email. I love emails now.
Those links and all of that stuff is going to be in the show notes. So it's easier to access on the YouTube channel, wherever you're watching. It'll be right there. So now time is escape. We have like 15 minutes. So I have two more questions. But what's the lesson? The really big lesson that you have learned that you wish everybody would understand just by working in the industry, but then also now with Double Book.
Yeah. The lesson I learned is, I mean, just go for it. Like whatever you're doing, just go for it. But make sure it aligns with, yourself and what you want, right? Don't go do something because again, someone on the internet told you there's like a magical secret way
Yeah.
or, whatever. Don't do things out of spite. Like, you might feel spite or anger for things. And yes, like feel those feelings, but don't do things out of spite. It's not going to get you where you're trying to go. But whatever you're doing, again, there's no failure. Failure is like a state of mind. And so when you're stuck somewhere and you're afraid of failing, you're already failing because you're
Mm,
you're you're not doing the next thing. You can try something, you can go back to something you used to do. You can, whatever it is, just try it. It's gonna work out as long as it's something you want to do.
yeah.
And if it doesn't work out the way you thought, it's because you were supposed to learn something there,
Yeah.
and you only live once. Learn the lessons, do the things. I'm
It's
serious.
no, I am taking this in just for my own self because recently I have been because at the time of this recording of this episode, we're in December. The mind shift of holidays are coming, all the goodies we're gonna get for Christmas and give, but then also like reflection time of the year, and then you're gonna go into this new year. You know, for me personally, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to pivot. Like, and it's so cool because you've been using the word throughout this whole time. And I'm like, okay, God, I got the
Yeah,
message.
it's your
Okay.
sign. It's your
Yes,
sign. Yeah.
totally.
I don't even
Holly,
think I use that word a lot, but so it's coming to you for a
today,
reason, girl.
yes, Holly has been dropping the word all day. And I'm like, okay, I'm here.
Yep, for
Okay.
you.
This episode's actually for me. It's not for
Yeah.
anybody else. Okay.
Yay.
So, okay. So now, final question before we wrap up. What is the one question that you wish I would have asked you that I did not? And how would you have answered?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you asked me so many good questions. Okay, this is just because we're talking about Christmas, okay? I think a good question is if I was gonna ask as a hairstylist what should be on every hairstylist Christmas list, and
Oh,
it is a doll head. And this is so random, but I've been thinking of this since I've like been making double book. It's more for assistance, but it's Christmas time. Like, what everyone needs to go ask for doll heads. I don't know if you work on doll heads like in the salon, but when you have clients, whatever. But what would you do if it was just you in January? You got those like first 2 weeks that nobody's getting their hair done. Like, you need to just do the dumbest. If you're a stylist who tells people I don't do men's cuts or I don't do short hair, you need to
yeah.
ask for 3 doll heads for Christmas and just go see what happens when you cut it this way or that way, or like just go wreck them. You're not going to do it if you buy the doll head yourself. You have to ask it as a gift.
That is
But
so
yeah,
true.
yeah,
That is so true. When you buy it
yeah.
yourself, you're like, oh my gosh, I cannot screw this up.
You go back to beauty school and you're like, well, first I need to do the long cut and then I need to do
Yeah.
the short, but no, just
Yes.
get one and just see what happens and make a mess and just see what happens. You see a stylist online cut bangs this way and you're like, I always see that, but I'm afraid. Just try it, see what happens. Like, just do the
It's the
craziest things.
best.
You'll learn so much from just doing that.
That is the best. I love that so much. Okay, you guys listening, this I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're watching it, you can see that Holly and I are just having a great time. Holly, thank you for being here on the Beauty Pro podcast.
Thank you for having me. This was so fun.
It is fun. All right, you guys, that's a wrap, and I will talk to you guys next time.